Auto work now. Oh!
Everybody, it's Durgertime. Welcome back. Another episode of Total Extreme Wrestling 2016 Billy Corgan's NWA. We have a episode of Power, and then we are jumping right into Hard Times, baby. And we had a great show. The last episode, we had a 64, which I think was the highest rating we've ever had for an NWA. Certainly, for no doubt, due to Jericho's involvement, but some other really good outings here, too. Believe it or not, Josephus had a pretty good angle. The Pillman and Cassady match with Eli Drake and Caleb Conley did really well. The Nick Aldis interview did really well. Overall, pretty strong. Where I'm not happy with right now is our women's division, which is kind of an afterthought in the NWA right now. It's fine. Something we might want to look at, and we might do it at the end of this show. I think we might look at maybe some potentials that we can hire. We have some people that are okay, right? Sasha, Kimberly, could be better. We definitely need something else, something in the works here. I don't know what, but we could look at it. I do want it to have some kind of stronger semblance, because I feel like we're consistently getting pretty underwhelming matches, to the point where I'm afraid to put them on the show, just simply due to the drop that we get in quality is pretty significant. So it's definitely going to be an issue. Now, we have another episode of Power. We have, I believe, 5 more episodes that we can have Chris Jericho on. It's expensive, but I think it's worth it. We are not making money by any stretch of imagination, but we have a pretty good cushion. We had $1 million. We are losing about, let's say $100,000 a month. So we only have like 7 months in this money pit. So we got to start making money at some point. And we'll have to look at what we're going to have to do that. But right now we're in the process of building stars, right? So someone like Pillman is rather inexpensive, going to do really well for us. There's a couple different options that we have, right? That we can start to move up. And our contracts aren't horrendous. I think Jericho's expensive, but he's temporary. That's not a big deal. But for the most part, our most expensive people are like 1,000. It's not horrible. So it's just a matter of getting that momentum, getting that popularity. And I think things will start to swing around for us as we get some butts in the seat and hopefully start making some money. Now, we also have done a pay-per-view with the Into the Fire. But I believe this will be the first time we are running it as a actual pay-per-view with Hard Times. I don't remember if we had a platform for the last one. I don't quite remember, but we are running it on YouTube Red. So that's going to give us some subscription money. We will see what that comes out to be. Definitely a little concerned about the finances, but not yet. Not until we really see what we're looking at. Let me just see. Yeah, so we had no pay-per-view revenue, so we don't know yet what that looks like in terms of gain. It could be pretty significant, and if it's significant, we might be looking at a monthly pay-per-view instead of doing it every other month or something like that. So we'll have to see. Let's go ahead. Nothing else in the back end that we have to worry about. Let's get over to NWA Power, and let's book the show, go home show to move into Hard Times. What do we got here? We got a Flip Gordon saying yes, and we got a pay raise request from Ricky Starks. He is significantly being underpaid, I guess. For the sake of being happy, I'm fine with the 520. I don't want the morale bump. We're not using him that much anyways. It looks like that doesn't matter about Flip Gordon's rival bid for the Ring of Honor because he has signed up here. Though we're not exclusive, so I mean, they technically could do their own thing if they wanted to. Oh, he's not here yet. That's right. 900 per show. It's a little high. It's not incredibly high though. It's within the ballpark. I think we'll be fine. All right. Power still days away. Let's go ahead and get to it. Let's see. Oh, it looks like we started the line of Alliance loans. Jericho now got loaned over to Impact. We have 1 month left of Brody's Impact. Oh, we should probably bring him back in. It's currently at $290 a show written for that. Seems fine. I think I could probably get him a little bit lower. He wants 400, huh? Never lower than mid-Carter. What would you say? Still 400. All right. We'll just do the 400. That's fine. It's really not that expensive. And AEW stole the Von Erichs from us for a one-night deal. Presumably, probably to take the Alliance titles off of them. And an Alliance loan for Jericho. Hopefully that will not impact our show tonight. It shouldn't, because we were first, but who knows how this game works sometimes with that. All right. We have morale issues. For what? Oh, the turn. Yeah. Mike Posey's got some morale issues. Right, that fight. Oh, that reminds me. I kind of want to just change his name. Just back to Bram is fine. Though technically he was like Victor Crane or something weird. Kenneth Cameron in WWE when he's part of the Ascension, but we'll go with Bram. It's a better name. And I won't keep on screwing up his last name, so that works out for me. 59 Backstage rating, looking a little worse for wear. Oh boy, there's a lot of incidents here. What the hell? Okay. Eli Drake was being jerked backstage and eventually threw a punch at Homicide. And it was bad enough that he'd gotten beaten up as a result. Stern warning. Homicide was unhappy with that. What's going on here? Pillman is annoyed of Ross by constantly mocking his lack of push at Sinclair. Stern warning as well. Pillman is improved. Pillman is pleased. Madison Eagle versus Scott Steiner. Eagle was brought before Wrestlers Court, accused of not joining the wrestle locker room for a night out. All right. Well, that was that gave us a significantly negative bump here. Boy, that was a lot of stuff there. What can we build here? Why not? What are we looking at? We got 1,600. Actually less than what we had last time by a little bit, which is unfortunate. But we do have our location. We will use it. Not sure why we went down a little bit, but we are regional, so we don't really want to go outside our region that much. We could, but since we're not Colt, we're really just focusing on building our region up for now. If I went to somewhere else, it would probably be like 3 people showing up, like 1,200. We're not looking at nearly as much as if we are in our area. So definitely kind of what we want to focus on. All right, let's book our TV show. It's our go home before the Hard Times pay-per-view. Anyone not here? Jericho's working elsewhere because he's working at Impact now. That's messed up. How come well, because they're a bigger company, I guess. He's like, I loaned him out first, and now they're screwing me over that way. Is real messed up. That's fine. We can work around it. We'll save the money. Not a big deal. That's annoying, though. And let's go ahead and let's book our NWA Power episode. All right, guys, we're back. Used up every minute. No pre-shows this time. Try to save a little bit of money. I got a lot of people on the show anyway, so we should be fine. So we start off the show with a satellite footage because Jericho couldn't be here for us. Nick Aldis starts the show with an interview, and it's talking about, the fact that Jericho showed up. And in the middle of the interview, the announcers say that they actually have an interruption because there's a live satellite footage. And from the satellite footage, we see Chris Jericho on the screen outside of a private jet on his way to Impact. Jericho says he's sorry he couldn't be there, but there's a bigger, more important fish to fry than poor NWA. He says, last week people asked me why NWA, why this rinky-dink little place in Atlanta. Well, I'll tell you why. Because I've done a lot in my career, and I've been all over the world. I've been in Japan. I'm a Grand Slam champion. Over the years, I've proven that I am the best in the world, and I have every accolade to prove it. Except one. That one thing that hangs over your shoulder, all this. Probably the most prestigious belt in the world, wasted on a nobody in a nobody company. Well, that's about to change, because at Hard Times, I'm winning the belt. I'm adding it to my collection. And I'm taking it all over the world to show people what a true world's champion looks like. Gets the show on a pretty good hot start, gains heat for the 10 pounds of gold, and we set up our main event for Hard Times. Nick Aldis versus Chris Jericho, champion versus champion, for the NWA World's title. Does pretty good, well, 63, pretty good, despite Jericho not actually being there. This ended up working out okay. A little bit worse, but we have Madison Eagles, who we previously saw had some skill, and yes, she does actually some significant performance ability here, and gives the crowd a little bit of a breather. And ultimately, Madison Eagle defeats Marty Bell in a very quick 2.5 minute match by submission. Marty's improving technical. Wanted to see what she could do. Seems like she can do pretty okay. So we know, at least in this sort of breather women's division style match, she is fine, and does pretty well. We're at a 47. It could be better, but it could be worse too. And the aftermath leads to a big brawl after Eagle says, as grabbing a belt, that she's coming for Banks and the belt. Sasha comes out to basically defend it. And in the process, multiple other contenders who feel that they have a shot at the belt come out. And a huge brawl breaks out between Thunder Rosa, Ashley Vox, Kimberly, Madison Eagles, and Sasha Banks. Got the crowd hotter again. We advanced the storyline and gained heat for the women's division story. We get a C-55 is not horrendous. No improvements, though. And we build up a big old brawl for Hard Times, which should be a lot of fun. And overall, actually, this segment went pretty well for us. This didn't do as well, but we have an announcement by Pinky saying that the final Founders Medallion match will be set tonight, and he decided to set it against Bram, the new member of the Cult of Josephus, versus Brian Pillman Jr. Bram's not suited for his gimmick. We'll have to look at that. Yeah, this doesn't do very well, though. Following that, we have the actual match, in which it's about the same, unfortunately. In a decent match, Bram actually defeats Pillman in 8 minutes with a curb stomp due to interference from Marty Scurll, who Pillman has been feuding with over the course of the last couple weeks. Bram seemed really off his game. Got the crowd hotter, though. Pillman had a 48. Bram had a 39. We do advance the Pillman and Villain storyline. This is not great. I kind of expect this to be a little bit better. But ultimately, Bram wins the final Founders Medallion. And Pillman loses it, presumably because of the interference from Marty Scurll. Afterwards, we have a backstage event here where Brody Lee is seen on camera pacing back and forth like a madman before starting to bark into the camera. Not literally, obviously. It'd be kind of weird. Very angry. He starts shouting out towards Pinky George. He says, Pinky George made a mistake. He went after me, paid off some thugs. He thought I'd just be another backseat player. Well, I've had enough of that. No more being voiceless. No more being contained. Pinky, I'm taking that Founders Championship next week. I'm snatching all those medallions at hard times, and I'm melting them into a crown of thorns. And when I get my hands on you, no amount of paid thugs will be able to separate us as I shove that crown on your head and make you bleed. Presumably figuratively. Though that would be pretty neat, pretty interesting. But the face turn for Brody still not going well. So I'm kind of holding off on turning him. He's still kind of a tweener. Oh, here it is. I would say I don't know what happened to this segment. So I was like, what? Apparently this was placed wrong. So I guess after that backstage event, we come back to the stage where Pillman's standing there after his match with the promo having interrupted him, and Marty Scurll attacks him again. They start fighting outside the ring. Pillman getting a little bit of the upper hand, but setting up their feud for hard times as well. And we have a tag team match against War Machine versus Outlaw Inc. Decent wrestling, but did not have much heat. War Machine defeats Outlaw in 6 minutes. Hanson defeats Homicide by pinfall. Kingston's pretty much ahead above everybody else. Not by that much, but decently. Tag team division heats up, storyline increases. Hanson sustained a strain. I don't know how long it's going to take him out. We get a D+ from that segment. Not horrible. And finally, we have here, after the fact, a big brawl breaking down, just very similar to the Women's Division 1, where PCO and Brody King come out with the tag team championships. Obviously, Von Erichs attack them from behind, and ultimately all three brawl, seeming to set up some type of triple threat. It's later announced that it will be a ladder match. We advance the Von Erichs return storyline as well as NWA tag team division heating up. And so we have Hanson and the Villain Enterprise and seemingly the Von Erichs in a triple threat tag team match for the belts. We have another exhibition tag team match, just to kind of get some guys on the card a little bit. It's extremely short, but Scott Steiner and Eli Drake defeat Colt Cabana and Ricky Starks in 4 minutes. Eli Drake defeated Ricky Starks by pinfall. Match is poorly placed. Red Hot crowd was not going to get excited for a match designed to gently lift them. Didn't realize they were going to be red hot already, so that kind of hurt us. Overall, not horrendous. We protected Ricky Starks, and actually he did okay overall, but the rating could be better. And for our main event, we have Colin Cassady, and he defeats James Storms in 10 minutes, giving him another win and maybe starting a undefeated streak. And we have a James Storms future face turn that seems to be potentially down the line. Got the crowd hotter. 49 for Storm, 40 for Cassady, 42 overall. Not as strong of a show. D+, certainly not as great. Kind of back into the old rhythm of things, but not horrendous. We did increase our popularity. Impact. I'm kind of curious to see what was the star of the show for Impact. I want to see them stealing freaking Chris Jericho. Wow, they had Eddie Edwards defeat Chris Jericho. What a what a thing there. That's something, huh? So you stole him for us. Anything else going on here? Hanson injured. Not serious enough to take him out. Time off, which is what we really care about here. Thankfully, he is not hurt. Can we hire Peyton there? Oh, 1,000 a show. What's our offer? 3,800 written. Holy crap. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that. Strong popularity. You know, we'll throw a shot out because we do need somebody else in our women's division to be strong here. I'll cover it, and I'm not going to give you any bonuses, but pay per appearance, like, really not going to be able to offer much. Sure. Creative control? Improve our offer. What are we paying Sasha? 18? I'm just seeing what exactly, yeah, we're not going to get her. And there's no way we're going to end up getting her for that. That's fine. We can let it go. It would be nice to get a stronger female competitor, though. Especially one that already has built-in popularity, but not for that price. Chris Jericho has gone from the loan period. Hansen sustained an injury. James Storm's upset with his booking. That's fine. So Jericho should be back for Hard Times, which have in 4 days. Flip Gordon will be able to start working, so we might even be able to put him on Hard Times. Could be interesting. Homicide has morale issues now from that fight, right? Yeah, he's annoyed. We'll deal with it. All right, so next time we have Hard Times coming up. Should be pretty good. Hopefully nothing crazy happens. We can have Jericho on there, and we'll have to see how that goes as we have Aldis versus Jericho, which should be a pretty banging match. And overall, I think we're going to have a pretty good show. We'll have to take a look, and hopefully comes out pretty okay. But thank you guys for joining me today. I'll see you next time.